The Diderot effect takes its name from Denis Diderot, an 18th century French philosopher. To be more specific, the idea originates from the essay titled Regrets on Parting with My Old Dressing Gown. In his essay, Diderot talks about how an unexpected gift of an expensive dressing gown caused him financial ruin. The sequence of events are amusing. Long story short, he upgrades his writing desk, his armchair, and several other items to match his new luxurious gown. He ends up restructuring his entire life due to a single trigger of having an expensive gown. The Diderot effect occurs when we obtain an object that is new outside of the ecosystem of things that we own. This new object creates a hook for a new identity. In trying to fully absorb this new identity, we end up buying complementary things to the newly acquired object. Here is an example of my own Diderot effect experience. When I first heard about this, I had a chuckle and left it at that. But only later I realized that I too was a victim of this effect. I was living a city life when I happened to visit an adventure gear shop for a completely non adventurous reason of buying a laptop bag. I ended up buying a laptop bag with a sporty, adventurous look. After buying this bag, my own Diderot effect sequence started. I started watching camping videos on YouTube. I now perceived myself as an outdoorsy person. I now wanted to go camping ASAP. This meant I had to buy a few other essentials. I bought a hiking bag because you would want to hike when you camp, right? I also bought a Swiss Army knife because who goes camping without it? Things just kept piling up, large and small things, torches, insect repellents, LED lamps, tarps, fire starters, sleeping bags, sleeping pads, and so on. Soon, I had an ecosystem of things related to camping. I was now an outdoorsy person, a nature enthusiast. But I had not even gone on a single camping trip. I had succumbed to the Diderot effect. I am sure, just like me, you would also notice this effect everywhere if you look close enough, both in your life and also in others. This is especially true of new hobbies. I am sure you know at least one person who keeps buying musical instruments because he or she loves to play music. They keep collecting instruments and electronics around it. Yet I am sure you have not seen them practice seriously or even perform. In my opinion, the Diderot effect arises out of some sort of insecurity, fear, false pride. I think when a new object is acquired, it allows us to break free of our old identity into what looks like a shiny new identity. In the pursuit of acquiring this new identity as fast as we can, we acquire objects that are complementary to this identity. What we conveniently ignore is the acquisition of the skills required to take on this new identity. Learning new skills is an excruciatingly painful process. One has to give up the old and the familiar, however distasteful that might be, and begin as an absolute beginner. Beginners make mistakes. They go through frustrations of no actual progress, rejections, failures until through sheer grit they acquire the necessary skills to earn this new identity. We cannot avoid the Diderot effect, but we can manage it in such a way that we do not go down the route of Denis Diderot. In order to manage the effect, I would suggest to self gamify by setting milestones to reach before you reward yourself with new equipment. For example, in my case, it could mean if I go on 10 camping trips, then I will buy camping chairs. For musicians, it could be if I play 5 songs with my existing guitar, then I will buy that Spanish guitar. This pandemic, many of us have been indoors with few social avenues for recreation. This means many of us have taken to several hobbies painting, music, baking, and so on. All of these require the acquisition of objects for sure, but also, more importantly, the acquisition of skills. I believe balancing the buying of objects with skills builds the discipline required to become financially independent. And this is because of two reasons. First, you would not buy as much stuff as before because now you have to earn them which means your expenses are lower and are spread over time. Second, the skills thus obtained can be useful in earning alternate sources of income. I hope you find this content useful on your journey towards financial independence. Thank you.